with our next session. We're going to hear from Art Gonzales and Mr. Gary Gallegos on making our community safer, the values of volunteer fire departments.
Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Arthur Gonzales, a retired fire chief from Borough Hose and Fire Company and Gallegos Fire Department. With me is our acting assistant chief, Gary Gallegos, and we're briefly going to tell you about the volunteer fire department. I've been a volunteer for over 40 years, and it's a great feeling to be able to tell people, hey, I'm a volunteer fireman, I've been there, and we need your help. First of all, San Miguel County has 19 fire departments, 12 fire departments. And we respond to any call that we get, and it's 24/7, all the time, 365 days a week. We don't know what a holiday is, what a good meal at supper is, but we're out there to help the community, try to save property, lives, and so on. But for right now, our biggest problem is we need people to volunteer for their service. It's hard to get people to volunteer anymore. But if you people out there know anybody that wants to volunteer, please let us know. We got a station here in Las Vegas. It's the Gallegos Fire Department. We got one in El Pueblo. We got one in Sapeo, Cabo, so we're all over the place. Basically, our job is to respond to fires, try to save lives, property, and we fight residential, wildland fires, accidents, and anything that comes up, we're on call. The thing is that being a volunteer is exactly what it means. We volunteer our services for anything. So if anybody needs help or so on and so forth. The volunteer fire department is something that people look at us and they don't realize what a volunteer fire department is. It's a bunch of people that are interested in the county, the community, and so on, as to where any emergency that comes up, they're there. And they don't know what Christmas is, they don't know what it is to sit down and have a decent dinner, and so on. We're on call 24 hours a day. Our volunteers are trained constantly. They're trained in firefighting, residential, wildland, accidents, rescue, you name it, we do it all. All the volunteers in San Miguel County excuse me, are ready to go at all times. We're on call 24 hours a day. We get calls for anything that you can think of, and these volunteer firefighters do it on their own. They have no pay whatsoever. The only monies that the volunteer is from what the state gives us, and we're rated, and ISO rating, which is insurance services, and we're trying to think of the word, inspected all the time. They come in and inspect and make sure all of our equipment is ready, all our paperwork is done, and so on, and that's how we get our funding, and that's how the county gets its rating for insurance purposes. Other than that, the volunteer fire department is volunteer. You don't get very many thank yous. Matter of fact, we've received some bills from people that we went and turned their fire off at their house. They'll send us a bill for damages. So, we meet all kinds of people, but to us it doesn't matter who it is. We're there for you, the community, the county, and we also assist other counties. And also, I want to thank the state forestry, the federal forestry. We work real close together on wildland fires or anything that can come up. So those people need a big thank you from us and from the community. So if you see them around, tell them thank you for assisting us. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Gary Gallegos. He's our acting chief now, and he's going to talk a little bit about wildland fires and how to protect your house from fires and so on. Gary?
Hi, my name is Gary Gallegos. I'm with Gonzales Fire. I've been with them for about 10 years, going 11. Mostly he summing up and part of about our department is being a volunteer, that we do new volunteers. It's getting harder for us to get volunteers these days. But most of the time, like you said, we do respond to pretty much all calls. Mostly we've been doing a lot of structure for the last couple of weeks. We've been busy. To help us with our department as volunteers and the outside area of the community is that try and keep your houses clear of debris, any kind of branches, wood that you pile by your houses, gas, tanks, anything like that, away from your houses, and make sure your area is clear and make sure you don't have trees that are too close to your house, because that's one thing that will cause to have your structure fires. And like I said, that's what most of our structure fires have been lately, because people have debris around their houses and we have lost some lives. Not only that, we need to somehow get better addressing some of these properties, because sometimes we have a hard time finding the properties. I don't know how they could fix that. With a road addressing, maybe they could do something for that. Other than that, like I said, like he says, we need volunteers, and I'm not sure what else I could talk about right now, because like I said, mostly it's just, that's another thing. Right now, San Miguel County has a total ban on any fires that you have, so you cannot burn, not even without permission or anything, you cannot burn it at all. It's a total ban. So just to let you guys know, there's a total ban right now. So if you see anybody starting a fire, report it right away, because nobody's supposed to be burning anything. Because we're a very dry climate right now, humidity is built down, and basically that's mostly what I need to have to say right now, and I don't know if Art has anything else to say.
Well, first of all, once again, I want to thank the state and the feds for all the assistance that they give us. You know, you guys know we had some pretty good fires, that we had the Hermit Street fire and the other fires, which had really taken a toll on property and people. You know, in the last 3-4 weeks, we have lost about 5 people in the fire. One of the biggest major fires is that people go out there and burn trash at their house, and the wind picks up, and now we have a house fire, grass fire, forest fire. So make sure that when you're at home, clean around the house. It's very important. And when you report a fire, make sure you give us some detailed information. It all goes to the state police dispatcher, and we go off of their recommendations. You know, they'll call and say, you got a house fire totally engulfed, or you got a grass fire, and clear directions on how to get there. The hardest thing, the county is big, and some of these roads, I bet you 90% of you people don't even know where those roads are. So we need exact addresses and locations, how to get there, or wait for us out someplace on some county road or anything. Another thing is that if you need help for anything, don't hesitate to call. If you see something, don't hesitate to call. It's very important. Like I said, the county is big. We get a call. By the time our volunteers get to the fire department, and they get there as fast as they can, and we load up and get our stuff on the road, it's a long ways. Can you imagine driving all the way from here to Clementina to a house fire? Or going up to Gallegos Canyon for a fire, or out north around Sapeo area and up to Huatros. You know, it takes a while to get there. So we depend on anybody that turns in a fire call to get specific addresses, how to get there, and if the house is totally engulfed in flames, or it just somebody burned the beans, you know, we need to know that information even before we leave. But on behalf, and I'm going to praise all the volunteers for the great job that they do, you know. So beyond that, if you have any questions in firefighting, want to join the fire department, don't hesitate to call us. The easiest way to get to us is just look up on the phone book for there's Gallegos Fire, El Pueblo, and all of these other ones. We can help you out, and we'll help out in any way that we can. Whether it's raining, snowing, or it's 100 degrees outside, we'll be there. And I want to thank all of you for listening, and have a safe day, okay?